Hi everyone, this is Dr. Christina Greer, and today I'm going to talk to you and take you through one of our first lessons in First Draft to First Edition called Making Time to Write. So a lot of times people tell me, I just don't have time to write. I've got kids, I've got a husband, I've got a dog, a wife, a spouse, a mom, or whatever, and I don't have time to do some writing. In this lesson, I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can make time to write, because to be frank, you need to make that time. The first thing you need to think about, and in fact what your homework is for the next time I talk to you, is developing awareness. How do you spend your time? Take stock without judgment. Account for every moment that you are awake. A lot of times people say, I just don't have time, but they haven't actually looked at their notes, their life, how they're living their life. I read an article not long ago that said that people spend a lot of time doing absolutely nothing and they don't even realize it. It's like when you think you're following your eating plan or your diet correctly, and then you start writing it down and you realize, oh, that handful of nuts here and that, bag of carrots there really added up in calories. And the same thing is true with time. And when you get to your workbook for the class, the e-textbook, you'll be able to see there's a handout and a chart there that'll help you keep track of your time over a period of a couple of days to really just raise your awareness about how you're using your time and where you can fit writing into your schedule. Another thing to think about is scheduling time to write. A lot of people say, well, if I write it down, I say I'm going to do it today at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but then something comes up and I don't do it. Well, one way to eliminate that kind of thing is to actually go through your calendar, go through your day once you've done an assessment, and figure out where in your life, where in your day can you fit writing in, and actually write it in. Take your notebook out and at 3:45 in the afternoon write writing time, or whatever you need to write to indicate that this is the time that you will be doing, that you're going to plan your day around this time, and you will be sitting wherever you write with your butt in your chair or on your treadmill or wherever it is that you write. It'll be during that time. Then you have to really respect your writing time. It's like this new wave of people saying, well, in order to make it to the gym on time or every day, I have to write it in. Do the same thing with your writing time and actually take it seriously. Don't think of that as like a penciled in time that you can erase, but actually look closely at how you're spending your time. And if you really believe that writing is valuable to you, you won't get rid of it. And as I say here, neglecting your writing time means you are neglecting yourself, because if writing this memoir is really important to you, you will find the time. Change your thinking. One of the things that you'll hear me talk about often in this course is about how your thinking shapes what you're doing and shapes your reality. Believe that you have time to write, and you will have time to write. If you've got 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, use that time. Instead of setting out to write 1,000,000 words a day, just write. Write every day. Write when you can. So change your thinking about what it means to be a writer and what it means to get your writing done. Don't wait for the perfect time. This is probably the worst killer of most writers that I see, of people who never get their memoir written. It's because they think, I have to be in this perfect room at this perfect time, and if I can't write there, then I can't write at all, darn it. I'm just not going to do it. And if you all are fans of Roseanne, the 90s sitcom, as much as I am, you'll remember that Dan and the girls created a writing room in the basement for Roseanne to write, and she never used it. And for a lot of us, that's just not practical. We want to be in the center of what our families are doing, or maybe we want to be in a chair in a corner or somewhere else. But there really isn't a perfect time for writing for most of us. And I do everything that it says on this list. I stand in line at the grocery store and write. I take a notebook with me sometimes, but I also use the notes function on my cell phone. But you could do anything, anywhere, on the back of a napkin, on the back of your receipt. When you're sitting at the car wash, going through, at the doctor's office, waiting to pick up your kids from school, even if you're driving, and I have a long commute, an hour one way, I use an audio recorder, a digital audio recorder that I don't even have to hold. It just sits there in my car, and I can talk out loud about things that I'm working on. You can do the same thing with your smartphone. Develop some writing rituals. One thing I like to do before I start writing is I sit in my chair or wherever it is I'm writing, take a deep breath and just sit there for a couple minutes and just take time to recenter myself, find myself, think clearly, and then I start writing. A lot of writers like to use the same pen or pencil or same pen or pencil type. That would be great if that's your thing. Create a special writing area. For me, it's the same gray chair in my living room. That's where I've done a lot of the writing that I've done when I have time to have concentrated periods of writing time. Buy a new journal, light your favorite candle, listen to your favorite CD. One of the things I'm going to ask you to do this week in the class is go to the discussion board and talk about some of your writing rituals, because I love when people share like some of the things they do, because we can learn so much from each other from that. So another thing you need to do is think about procrastination and using it wisely. For most of us, we simply procrastinate, and that's just a fact. And what I say here is that you need to use your procrastination to your advantage. Use that time. If you're sitting down and you're like, oh, I just don't feel like writing, then write notes in your journal. Read some articles about writing. And if you friend me at Christina Greer on Facebook, I post daily writing articles, 3 or 4 every single day that can really get you thinking about the process of writing and organizing things and taking notes. Call a friend and tell her about your current writing project. Explain it, work it out. Organize old family photos and documents, because doing that, just holding those things in your hands, might get you thinking, oh wait, I remember that. There's a story there, I want to write that down. Go for a walk and take your audio recorder or phone with you. There is nothing like moving your body that can get you thinking. Connect your mind and body, clear your head. Visit one of your favorite places from childhood or adolescence and take some pictures. See it anew for the first time. Like, go back there and imagine, what is it like to, what was it like when I was a kid, but what's it like now? What was I missing then? What did I see then that I don't see now? And finally, write something else. Do a blog post, email your favorite teacher, something else. Just get that pen in your hand or sit down at the computer and start writing, and I guarantee you'll get back to your project. The other thing you need to think about is reducing distractions. I'm the type of person that, depending on what I'm doing with my writing, I may or may not need distraction. If I am in the notes or outlining stage, I need some distraction, something on TV or something in the background, some music or whatever. But if I'm in the thick of writing and revising, I really need a little bit of quiet. And so if you're like me, if you're using your computer, clean up your desktop so you don't have all that crap cluttered on your screen. Shut off social media. Oh, we have to work on that social media business interrupting us. And only have your writing program open, whatever that might be, Word or OpenOffice or whatever you're using. If you are writing in a notebook, work in a low traffic area, work when you don't have to keep getting up to serve others, and let everyone know that this is your time. Make this a sacred time. Don't give it up for anybody. Also, something else you need to do, I think, that'll help you make your plan and keep your plan is to make one. Create a plan or you end up staring at your blank screen. How many times does that happen? Like, oh, well, it's writing time. I got to go write. And you sit down, nothing. Well, before you actually get there, maybe even the night before, decide what you're going to work on. Maybe it's chapter 2. Maybe you want to take some notes or do some research today. Edit your preface. Try to be specific if you can be. When you go in with a task in mind, then you're more than likely to achieve that. Also, lastly, and most importantly, use the course groups in this class. That's what they're there for. We have 2 course groups, as I say here. There's the forums that come with this class, but also there's the Facebook group, which is private, so no one else can see it. You have to actually be added by me to get in it, from first draft to first edition. Find and utilize that. And as I say here, this is just one example of how we can motivate each other to stay on task. And that is challenge other members to a word race. I've done this with my friends for years. How many words can you write today? How many words can you write this week, or whatever? All of these things, everything I've mentioned in this presentation today, can get you into the habit of thinking like and being. That's the most important thing. Being a writer. That's something you really need to think about and actively do. Being a writer is not something you say, it is something that you do. And hopefully as you move through this week, we'll be talking about keeping a notebook and again talking about how we use our time and things like that. And so hopefully by the end of this week you'll have a better sense of just how you can integrate writing and the practice of writing into your life more than you have been in the past. So if you want some more information, go to obviously learnchristinagreer.com, but also to my website. You can find some cool instructions there and learn some more stuff about me if you want to know. I guess I'll see you on the next installment of From First Draft to First Edition. Until then, I hope you're having an excellent day. I'll see you in the forums. Bye.